Nobody from my family came to my wife's funeral. Not even my parents nor my best friend. They all went to my sister's engagement party instead. But as we lowered the casket, my phone lit up with a message from my mom. "We need to talk now," followed by twarm, missed calls. The sound of a door slamming echoed through the house, rattling the picture frames on the wall. "You ruined everything, Silas. Don't you dare twist this on us." My sister's voice cracked like glass, shrill and furious. Father's heavy boots paced across the hardwood floor. "You think we owe you something? After the shame you've brought this family?" Mother sat in the corner, hands trembling around a half-empty glass of wine, lips moving but voice lost beneath the shouting. I hadn't spoken a word. Not yet. My silence was heavier than their rage. Then, like a knife in the chest, my father snarled, "Tell them the truth, Silas. Tell them why your wife is really dead." My name is Silas Marlowe, 26 years old, the forgotten son, the quiet one. I learned young that words in this house weren't meant for me. They were meant to silence me, to bend me, to bury me. So I stayed quiet, but silence doesn't mean blind. I watched. I listened. I carried every secret they thought I never noticed. And tonight, in this storm of screams and lies, I held one truth that none of them knew I had. Family members introduced, "Silas, for once in your life, grow a backbone." Alara, my older sister, 29, flawless dress still smelling of champagne from her engagement party. Rowan, my younger brother, leaned against the wall, arms crossed, smirking like this was entertainment. At 23, he was still mother's golden child. Father, Evander Marlowe, 60, stern, voice like gravel. The man who taught me that silence was safer than speaking. And mother, Isolde, 58. She cried without sound, always careful that her tears didn't stain her mascara. They stared at me like vultures circling prey. But one of them was hiding more than the rest. I could see it in their eyes. Alara slammed her hand on the oak dining table so hard the chandelier trembled above us. "This isn't about your tragedy, Silas," she snapped. "This is about the house. The deed belongs to all of us, and you know it." Her voice cracked on that last word. And I caught it. A fracture. She wasn't as steady as she wanted me to believe. I almost laughed. My wife's body was still cold in the ground, and tonight they circled me like vultures, arguing about property. Father leaned forward, veins thick on his neck. "You always wanted more than your share, playing the victim, hoping we'd give in out of pity. You've always been a parasite." Parasite. He spat it with venom. But in Alara's trembling hand, gripping the edge of the table, I noticed something more. The faintest imprint of an envelope tucked halfway inside her purse. She'd come prepared with documents, not just documents, ammunition. Rowan finally spoke, his voice cruel and sharp. "Why don't you admit it? You couldn't keep Aurelia happy. She was lonely. Everybody knew it." The words dropped like a blade, and silence bled through the room. Mother gasped, her wine glass slipping from her hand, shattering against the marble floor. Alara's eyes widened, not in shock at Rowan's cruelty, but in fear, as if he had revealed too much. I didn't move, didn't blink. My calmness unnerved them. Finally I spoke, quiet, deliberate, every word slicing through the tension. "You think this is about money? Or happiness? No. It's about what you all did to me. To her." Rowan's smirk faltered. Father's jaw tightened, and Alara wouldn't meet my eyes. 3 years ago, I stood outside the bank with rejection papers trembling in my hands. Loan denied. My dream of opening a small studio for Aurelia and me, gone. Later, I found out why. My father had used my name, my credit, to secure one of his failing business ventures. A gamble disguised as a family necessity. When I confronted him, Alara stood by his side. She laughed in my face. "You're young, Silas. You'll recover. Stop whining." But I didn't recover. Every shift I worked, every debt notice that came in the mail, Aurelia carried with me. And one night I discovered the worst truth. Mother's signature sat right there beside Father's on those stolen loan papers. She had chosen them over me. Aurelia tried to console me, whispering, "We'll build again, Silas, with or without them." But I saw her strength dim a little more each year. My silence had cost her. "You want the truth?" I whispered, staring directly at Alara. Aurelia knew. She knew about all of you, about the stolen credit, the forged signatures, the fraud. Alara's hand froze on her purse. Her lips parted, but no sound came. "She was going to expose you," I continued. "Every lie, every theft, every crime. That's why you didn't show up at her funeral, isn't it? Because you were guilty." Mother's sob broke like glass in the silence. Father's fist slammed the table, rattling the silverware. "She wasn't innocent either," he roared. His eyes burned with a rage I'd never seen. "Your precious Aurelia. She wasn't the saint you believed she was." The air thickened. I didn't flinch. Because I already suspected, the room exploded. Alara turned on Father. "You promised this would never come out!" Rowan cursed under his breath, pacing, pulling at his hair. Mother pressed her palms to her ears, rocking as though the noise could drown out her guilt. I stayed still, steady, watching them unravel. "I gave you my silence," I said, voice slicing through their chaos. "For years I carried your sins. But tonight, I give you the truth." And I laid it all bare. The forged loans, the shell companies, the offshore accounts, every dirty string I had uncovered. I saw the color drain from Father's face. Then Alara cracked, her voice trembling. "Don't you dare bring this public, Silas. You'll destroy us all." "That's the point," I replied. "But then..." Rowan's voice cut the air, softer, almost broken. "He's right. We did this to him. We did this to Aurelia." Alara spun on him, horrified. "Rowan, shut your mouth!" But it was too late. He had already crossed the line. The house no longer felt like home. It felt like a coffin. Their lies, the nails holding it shut. I rose slowly, and for the first time, every eye followed me. Mother's whisper trembled. "Silas, please don't do this. Don't tear this family apart." I looked at her, the woman who had signed away my future. "I didn't tear this family apart, Mother. You all did. I'm just showing the world the cracks." I walked to the door. Every step was heavy, but not with guilt, with release. Behind me, Rowan's voice broke. "I'm sorry, brother, for everything." I didn't turn. Apologies were dust now. The night air struck me like freedom, cold, raw, alive. I thought of Aurelia, her laughter echoing in the kitchen, her hand slipping into mine when the world felt unbearable, her whispered courage in the dark. They had tried to bury me with silence, the same way they buried her. But they failed. I whispered into the night. For the first time, I don't carry their weight anymore. Behind me, the storm of their screams still raged. But inside me, there was peace. And something sharper. Resolve. I pulled the envelope I had hidden inside my coat. Aurelia's last letter, written before her death. In it, she named names, dates, evidence, everything I needed. This wasn't just freedom. This was justice. Sometimes the loudest revenge is not shouting, not fighting, but finally choosing to be free and making sure the truth outlives the lies. If you were in my place, would you forgive? Or would you walk away forever? Tell me in the comments. Your voice matters here. Comment your thoughts, like if you felt Silas's pain. Subscribe for more raw, emotional stories.